it. 18 minutes past 3 here on BBC Radio Cornwall. Tiffany Truscott with you through until 6 today. Now, a writer who's originally from West Cornwall has just published his debut novel and has had a unique way of helping to get it into the book charts. We'll find out more from Gallie, who's with me now. Afternoon to you.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Now, this book, it's called Divisions of the Knife, and very recently published, wasn't it, in the last couple of months?
Yeah, exactly.
And do you want to tell us about the unique way in which you helped to kind of get it into the book chart?
Well, yeah, it was sort of recommended by my publisher because the Amazon charts are so fluid and so updated so regularly. If you sort of manage to press gang everyone you know into buying one at the same time, like literally the same hour, then it goes really high. Goes really high into the charts.
And you did just that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was what I managed to sort of bully everyone I've ever spoken to into buying a copy, and then. Yeah, it jumped quite high. It got very briefly. It got above 50 Shades of Grey in Movers and Shakers chart,
which is very impressive because that book's been in the charts for months, hasn't it? So it did work. So you sort of got in touch with your family and friends. You wrote letters to some people that knew you and said, "Can you buy the book on this day?" So
exactly, yeah.
So for your first book to see your name up with those kind of titles, that must have been a great experience.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a really nice day, and it was so good to see it out there. And yeah, obviously, massive thanks to everyone who bought it.
Oh, that's nice of you to thank them. And to talk about the book itself, a lot of it's set in a world based on Cornwall, particularly during the Frowder Day, which was a couple of weekends ago. So, where did you get the idea from?
It kind of came from wanting to write about something that I knew about, madness. And I wanted to base them in their. I wanted you to meet them in their elements, as it were. So, I've just, the Friday Day was always such a fun day and festival growing up that I thought that'd be a real nice arena to introduce the protagonist.
And actually, it would work if no one had heard about La Frowder and they stumbled across it by accident. They might have thought there was something strange going on, mightn't they? Anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They never heard of it.
That's true.
And so that's how it based. And it has to be said that the book itself, it's the first part of a trilogy. So you've set yourself up for quite a lot of work now, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's... but it started as such an abstract project. When I started doing it, I just started doing it for fun, really. And I had this big long idea in my mind, but I don't know if I ever believed I would actually finish it or anything like that. But when I got about, maybe when I got about 50,000 words in, I kind of started thinking, I could actually do this if I sat down and put my mind to it and discipline myself a bit. But book two's coming on quite well, so I'm hoping to get that out around October, November time, and then start working on the third.
Well, you must work quite quickly then. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some days are much better than others. You can sort of you can spend the same amount of time doing about 200 words as you can spend doing 5,000 words. It seems there's no real continuity to how quickly you can do it, but sometimes it goes quite quickly.
And is it something you always wanted to do, was write?
Yeah, definitely. I always used to do it. When I was young. Used to write little books for Mum and stuff when I started out, which weren't never really got anywhere with those, but it was good fun. And then all the time I was at uni, I had the idea that I wanted to do it, which is annoying really, because considering how much free time you have at uni, writing a book would have been really easy back then. Now I'm trying to fit it in around a full-time job. It's quite a struggle, but in those sort of 53 hours I had a week at uni, I could have made much better use of.
Instead of maybe having a lie-in or something like that.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Or spending time in the bar, that kind of thing that students do.
Yeah, that does eat into your productivity.
And what was it like when to get your first book published and to hold it in your hands? Because, you're not that old, are you? So, it's quite a big achievement for anyone, really.
Yeah, that was such an amazing feeling. I was at work at the time, and my friend was staying here, and she just sent me a picture message of her holding the book. And so I had an hour's lunch break, so I just cycled home as quickly as I could. I just wanted to see it. And then, it's the best feeling ever. Like, for the first week, I just have it beside my bed and just looking at it every few minutes.
So I did that.
Yeah.
And the story, basically, like you said, is a bit of a fantasy about a man who has to set off on this task, which is quite difficult. And there's a sorcerer with him as well. It's all, as you say, it's quite sort of fantasy, that kind of thing. So the kind of thing that a lot of people enjoy reading, because it's a bit of escapism, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I really like the sort of way with fantasy you can just completely write everything, even down to the rules of physics and like the laws of magic and all that kind of stuff. You can just, everything can be exactly as you want it. And then you've sort of got this amazing place where you can put people that you might have a better understanding of or whatever than the world you've created. You can then sort of use to populate it, and I find it all comes together quite nicely that way. But yeah, hopefully we'd have that kind of appeal. And
do you think because you're from West Cornwall and you've based bits of it on your experiences of Cornwall, do you think that helped to give you inspiration as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, especially when you're for some of the more visual bits, when you're thinking about the environment and stuff, and when you're trying to get your head around the geography of what's going on and stuff, I was always really thinking about Cornwall. And about a big chunk of it's actually centred around Le Thunder Day, as it's called in the book, which is obviously based on the Frouder Day, and that was hugely influenced by sort of stuff that's happened and how my experience of that particular day and stuff.
Well, it's been lovely to talk to you this afternoon, and thank you for taking the time out to speak to us about it. But
thank you for
a great achievement, and we look forward to hearing about the other two in the trilogy coming out as well.
Well, yeah, hopefully if all goes to plan.
And it's available all the usual kind of places, online and everything as well.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, or you can go to my website, which is chrisgallie.co.uk, and get it from there.
Excellent. Well, best of luck with that.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Nice to speak to you.
Cool. Have a nice day.
Thank you, and you. Bye.